the Inyo National Forest is going through an historic update to their management program, the management plan for the forest. This was last updated in 1988. It's being done under some new rules called the 2012 Planning Rule. The thing that is interesting about that is it really emphasizes collaboration as part of putting this forest plan together. So the Eastern Sierra Recreation Collaborative is going to give the opportunity for anybody in the Eastern Sierra region to show up at a series of meetings, to become one of many voices in support of recreation in the Eastern Sierra that can really help this forest plan process. So we can really get a Forest Service management plan that's going to benefit public lands and everybody in the United States of America, and certainly the Eastern Sierra and the Inyo National Forest to get the best plan we possibly can. It's important to point out this is not an official Forest Service effort, but we've all been in touch with the Forest Service, both the local Forest Service and the regional office over there in Vallejo. And they're aware this is happening, and this is consistent with how the planning rule is set up, and I think that a good collaboration is really going to help ensure that everybody gets a kind of forest plan for the Inyo National Forest that is going to be a good management tool and is going to bode well for future efforts on this forest. There aren't any public agencies involved in this. There are the elected officials of Mono County. They're going to be considering this effort this afternoon. Folks from Inyo County have already looked at it, and everybody's kind of giving it their blessing. There's no public money being used. There's no public staff involved in any of this. The Mammoth Lakes Trails and Public Access Foundation, which is a little nonprofit up here in Mammoth Lakes. We've been able to raise some money to pay for the facilitator, at least for these first 4 meetings, and help out with the costs of venues and those kinds of things. But it really is a grassroots effort to engage stakeholders, recreationists, anybody with an interest in this update of this Inyo National Forest Plan revision, this management plan, to give everybody a chance to show up and be part of this really kind of historic and once in a 30-year opportunity. We just hope everybody shows up and gets their voices heard.
The reason I got involved as a supervisor-elect for Mono County and as someone who really cares about recreation on our public lands in the Eastern Sierra is we have an unprecedented opportunity, well, at least an opportunity that hasn't come around in 25 years, and that is the management plan revision for the Inyo National Forest. And this is the guiding document for how our public lands on the Inyo National Forest will be managed for the next decade or two. And we wanted to get a group of concerned citizens and local governments involved to make meaningful comments around recreation on the forest. What types of recreation do we want to see? What kinds of partnerships? What kinds of management practices? And time is really of the essence. This plan revision process is going on right now, and that's why we're getting together the series of public meetings over the next month to get East Side recreationists together to determine the future of the forest.
So there are 4 meetings. The next one's going to be next Tuesday at Cerro Coastal College, starting at 5:30 in Bishop, 5:30 to 8:30. The next one will be October 28th for the southern gateway communities. That's going to be at Big Pine, at the Big Pine Town Hall. And then on the 30th of October up at June Lake, at the June Lake Community Center, again at 5:30 up in June Lake. And then we'll get together on I think the 13th of November to start talking about a recreation strategy. That'll be back in Bishop at Cerro Coastal College again at 5:30. For more information on all this stuff, go to eastsierrarec.org. That's eastsierrarec with a C.org. You can find information on all the public meetings there. And I think it's really important to understand that this is a regional effort, and the elected officials in Inyo County and Mono County, Town of Mammoth Lake, City of Bishop, and elsewhere all recognize that this is really something that works best as a grassroots effort to give anybody who's got an interest in the Inyo National Forest and how the forest is managed, to give the public an opportunity to show up at these meetings and get their voices heard. I happen to be in Mammoth. You called me on the phone, and here we are. But I would encourage folks who've got any questions to go to eastsierrarec.org or check in with your elected officials and really make this as good a grassroots effort to really capture the public's voice, the public sentiment, to get this to be the best Inyo forest management plan that we can possibly achieve.